it's a little quick panoramic thing here. So they give us the history of that. I think it was Prussian, when war from Prussia during that time era. That's what that is. They give us the history of that when we're on the Reichstag Dome, which is, let me go slowly. So there's that. Let me go slowly so it's not jumping around. And then there's the dome that we visited today. And as I zoom in, you can see people walking up the spiral that we did. Out. Then we're at the bottom of the Brandenburg Gate. We took some pictures. We're on the, this would have been West Berlin. And then I wanted to point out the American Embassy flag there. Third flag I've seen flying since I've been traveling. I'm gonna show you where the border was. Hold on, or the wall. Okay, you see where these things look like railroad tracks? Okay, these railroad track looking things. This was an inner wall, the big thick wall. And then in reference, there's the gate. So Julie would be standing in East Germany. She'd probably be shot by now getting that close to the wall. So this is showing where the thick wall was, but there was a little bit of a no man's land, which goes from here. And it's gonna be kind of hard to see with the traffic, but what they did is that they had a secondary wall. Let's see if I can, hold on, I got a better angle of it on the other side. So I just wanted to follow this down to get big. So this is where the big cinder block wall, like if you've been to the Reagan Museum or some of the Washington DC museums, this is where that wall was standing in reference to the Brandenburg Gate, right? So, but the secondary wall, what they've done is that they've put these all over the city. They've lined these like cobblestones, and this is where the secondary wall would have been. It was a thinner wall, maybe just some barbed wire, and there was a bit of a no man's land. So it goes down like that. I mean, to follow the map too, it's just really weird angles. So we would be in no man's land. That's where we're standing, and I don't even know if there was traffic allowed in this area at the time when the wall was up. I'm sure there's some historical pictures that might show you in detail what that was like. So now they made it, looks like they made it into a bike path. What used to be the main wall, they made it into a bike path. And about a minute walk or less from the Brandenburg Gate is the Jewish memorial that we're gonna go by. It looks like it's fenced off. Hold on. Okay, so I've seen some videos where people were actually able to walk in there. I'll walk across the street, see if I can see any markers. But this is a memorial to specifically for the Jewish people who were arrested, apprehended, whatever you want to call it, hauled off and murdered. And there's no real clear understanding. It's the distance, the size of these cement blocks. I mean, are they supposed to be, you know, graves, sarcophagus, or what? Let's get a closer look. Okay, I'm not sure if my first video picked it up. It looked like it was off. But this is the Jewish cemetery, Jewish memorial. And I don't see any markings, and I don't have a clear understanding of why they're shaped that way. I mean, offhand, I mean, there's some, this is where it would start. I mean, there's some right here that are ground level, flush with the ground, and then they get a little bit higher. There's no dates, names, or anything. It's really kind of haphazard. Have to throw this in here really quick. Look at these little cars. Look like little cars of the time of the Cold War. If you're looking for the full effect. Okay, yeah, we can go in there, so let's go see what we see. So pretty impressive to see a plot of land this size, about a city block, designated. Now, if you were just driving by and you didn't know what it was, it'd be hard to tell what it is, but I know it's a memorial to the Jews that were killed, specifically, not the political opponents or any other group of people. We all know that there were different groups of people, that the Nazi Party decided to round up and exterminate, for lack of a better purpose. But I haven't seen any signs that describe what we're looking at. These are pretty, you know, and I think for me, leaving it up to imagination, is this, you know, are this a family worth of people? Is it how many people at a certain time? Is it undescript, because that's how they were treated. They were tattooed with numbers, and this brings you closer to the familiarity of what it was like to be a Jew that was targeted for a concentration camp. Is this to let you fill in the blanks? So, you know, with that, honestly, I'm just going to walk through it. I'm going to stop it at this point. If I see something that actually has words to it, I'll let you know. But it's just amazing how it just weaves and winds. And I guess you can kind of get that depth. Now they're taller than me. Now they're above me.
See the shadows on the other side?
No. Julie's mentioning something about the shadows.
Look at, they're on the shadows on this side. They're small.
Oh, Julie's pointing out that as the shadows are cast from one to the other, how they actually have another effect. Let me zoom in a little bit. And they have these lighting effects here, so it must have a totally different look at night. Then it gets overwhelming. They get really high above us. Like I said in the beginning, they're flush to the ground. But now they're high above us. And now we're totally shaded by it. Yeah, I'm gonna stop it for now and take some pictures. This is very, I think this is one of those places where I just don't want to talk. I just want to absorb the effect of it. I wanted to introduce this next section. There's about 3 or 4 rooms underneath the memorial that make up the museum. Well, this next section is a quick video I did. I didn't talk because you'll see people are very, very quiet. But what I wanted to point out was in this room on the floor, they have these backlit things where they were showing different letters and from postcards and diaries and memos that these victims have wrote. And one of them was so impressive that this person actually had a postcard, and they wrote it on a train, one of those trains where they were all shoved in there, and not even knowing how it would get to her family. She threw it out of the train after she got done writing it with the dialogue and the address. Later on, a farmer had found it and read it and put a stamp on it and sent it forward in the mail, and it got to its recipient. There's about 15, I think, dialogues. Some of them were from diaries and memories, different ages, different people. It was just very impressive. I didn't do a lot of filming down there. It's very solemn, very respectful. I didn't see anybody else even taking pictures or filming, so I just kept it really quiet. So that's what you're going to see with zero explanation. So I hope this little intro helped. June and I just happened to be walking back through the Jewish Memorial, Holocaust Memorial. So this is the top of it. What I wanted to point out is that you see this building here. Just use that as a landmark. The building doesn't do anything for you other than use it as a reference point. And the entrance is over here. We see people waiting in line. Once again, the entrance is free, $4 a piece if you want to use the audio guide, which I recommend. And then there's a little donation thing as you exit. give yourself, this line probably is going to take about, the way it is now, give yourself about 20-30 minutes to work your way down that line. And then once you're inside, I would definitely budget a minimum of an hour, but if minimal to an hour, hour and a half at minimal, depending on how much you want to read and learn and absorb. But I thought that would be good to show you guys because I saw a lot of videos, and maybe the videos I saw about this, they didn't have the underground memorial and museum open yet. But there is one. It's free. It's worth going to if you're here.